The war in Iran, a pretext for acceleration towards electric cars? In recent months, the conflict in Iran has reignited a question that is being asked more and more often. Is this war just another geopolitical episode? Or at a deeper level, a pretext to push the world toward electric vehicles? At first glance, the idea may seem tempting. Fuel prices rise, people grow frustrated, and the solution appears to be already waiting: the transition to electric. But reality is more nuanced. History shows us a clear pattern. Every time a conflict emerges in the Middle East, the oil market reacts immediately. We are seeing the same thing now. After the outbreak of the conflict, oil prices rose rapidly, crossing important thresholds and creating ripple effects throughout the global economy. Moreover, disruptions in the Strait of Hormuz, an area through which around 20% of the world's oil passes, have amplified these tensions. For the average consumer, the effect is simple: they pay more. Higher fuel prices mean more expensive transportation, more expensive goods, and ultimately increasing pressure on personal budgets. In this context, a natural question arises. If gasoline becomes too expensive, are we being pushed toward alternatives? The answer is yes, but not necessarily in the sense of a conspiracy. The transition to electric vehicles did not begin with this war. It is the result of older policies related to reducing emissions, addressing climate change, and importantly, the desire of states to reduce their dependence on oil. In other words, the direction was already set. The war does not create this direction. It accelerates it. Energy crises act as catalysts. When fuel becomes expensive or unstable, people begin to look for alternatives, not because they are forced, but because it becomes economically advantageous. This is a natural market reaction, not necessarily the result of a hidden plan. On the other hand, the idea that a conflict of such magnitude would be orchestrated simply to sell more electric cars is difficult to support. Military conflicts involve enormous costs, geopolitical risks, and unpredictable consequences. They are not efficient tools for achieving simple commercial objectives. Therefore, the conclusion is a balanced one. The war in Iran is not a pretext created to force us to switch to electric cars. However, its effects, especially rising oil prices, contribute to accelerating a transition that was already underway. We are not living in a scenario of total control, but neither are we in a world without direction. Rather, we are witnessing a combination of political decisions, economic interests, and unforeseen events that together push society in a certain direction. And the real question is not whether we are being forced, but how prepared we are for the change that is coming.